Good morning, my friends. Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Just finished today's first meditation. And I'm reminded very much of a rich film directed by Wes Anderson entitled The Grand Budapest Hotel. It's one of a few Nazi-oriented, Holocaust-oriented movies that I've seen recently. And here's the irony. As a good Jew, I saw the Holocaust miniseries back in the 70s, and of course it was very intense. And of course, as a good Jew, I saw Schindler's List in the 90s. I don't really enjoy Holocaust films. They make me very, very sad, very weepy. And so it seems really funny that lately the universe, for want of a better term, seems to be conspiring to sneak Holocaust movies under the radar into my attention. For instance, I saw a trailer for what appeared to be a delightful comedy about an aging Jewish Austrian woman and her grandnephew, the attorney. It looked really cute. It starred Helen Mirren and the actor who plays Ryan Reynolds, and the actor who plays Deadpool. And it looked really cute. I started watching it, and there were these horrible, heart-rending scenes of the Austrian facet of the Holocaust. Wow! It just tore my heart out. And the same thing with the Grand Budapest Hotel. I thought it was going to be this great comedy. And it turned out to be, once again, a story which featured, Nazi atrocities. So that's really funny how this message keeps being thrust into my face, and I'm reminded of a rabbi I once heard speak who said one of the Jewish mottos after World War II was never again. But what this very good-hearted rabbi said was that never again does not only apply to us Jews. It applies to every oppressed peoples, regardless of race or gender or religion or lack thereof. There are always going to be demagogues. A demagogue is a political pundit who uses the strategy of scapegoating. And he says, as if to say, problem A's real cause, if we dealt with it, would be inconvenient for me. So I'm going to use the bait and switch and convince you that problem A's real cause is scapegoat B. And scapegoat B can be a philosophy, a belief, a religion, a race, a gender, a form of sexuality. It doesn't matter. And people are hoodwinked and convinced and duped to think if they just hate group B enough, problem A will go away. But the fact is, even if they annihilated group B off the earth, problem A remains because the real cause is not being dealt with. Because the people in power, the greedy people in power, people who are greedy for money or for prestige or for power, don't really want to deal with problem A. And that, if it sounds like I'm speaking generically, is because this is an ancient facet of statecraft. This has been practiced since before there was civilization. It would not surprise me if this was practiced by our caveman ancestors. We can even see this sometimes happening in the animal kingdom. Of course, obviously with less, lingual skill, but the same idea of problem, ignore solution, find something else. So obviously, as a Jew, I don't like the idea of the Holocaust perpetrated against the Jews. But one of the reasons so many Jews died in World War II is because America would not let political refugees from Europe, Jewish political refugees, into America. America closed its arms to the Jews. That gave birth to classic tales such as Voyage of the Damned. You see, the Nazis didn't just want to get Jews out of their country, they wanted to get Jews off the earth. And in that sense, Jews are Syrians or Muslims. All persecuted peoples, all political refugees, all financial refugees, all hated peoples, all my brothers and my sisters, my aunts, my uncles, my nieces, and my nephews. Not just America, every country must remember that we are all one. Every living being hates pain. Every living being loves pleasure. All tremble before violence. All fear death. All want to be happy. In that, we are the same. Many fearmongers will tell us, well, we can't be compassionate to group B because it's too expensive, or because we'll anger group C who will try to harm us. Harm is inevitable. Last year, 44 Americans were shot by Muslims, but over 50 were shot by toddlers. Are we going to put toddlers in concentration camps? The number of Americans killed by Muslim terrorists is dwarfed by the number of Americans killed by American terrorists, white terrorists, terrorists professing to be Christian. I don't know if they are or not. That's not my job to judge. That's someone else's job. Death is a certitude. Inconvenience is a certitude. My friends, I want to share with you a radical idea. In the face of the inevitability of death, it is far better to die with a heart full of love than to linger with a heart full of fear. Life is a crapshoot in a casino where the odds are stacked against us, and eventual loss, eventual death is a certitude. We're all going to die. Earth has a 100% mortality rate. Die with love, for it's far better to do so than to live with fear or greed or hate. Often, we can fool ourselves into thinking, if I just get this thing, I'll be happy. If I just get this promotion, if I just get this money, if I just get this relationship, if I win this girl's heart, if I get in this person's pants, if I experience this orgasm, if you give that person an orgasm, whatever we want, we tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I get that. But whatever that is, it is subject to the slings and arrows and treacheries of impermanence. Get the woman you want, and one of you will someday get sick and die. Get the job you want, and eventually the company will die, or you will die. There's nothing wrong with goals. There's nothing wrong with nice things happening or wanting nice things to happen. But we cannot predicate our happiness upon it. There is only one place, and that is here. There's only one time, and that is now. There's only one circumstance, and that is this. What's the proper reaction to our fear of Group B, or our fear of the consequences of tending to Group B? It's rendered mute by the inevitability of suffering, by the inevitability of death, by the inevitability of loss. Let us do the right thing simply because it is the right thing. Let us choose to do the loving thing because that is its own reward. Let us practice noticing and relaxing, for that is the most efficient way of living in the here, in the now, with the this. My friends, may you and yours be healthy and happy.